The other day, I walked into a room for something. At least, I think I did. The problem was that the moment I got there, the reason completely disappeared. Gone. I stood there staring at the walls, trying to remember why I had even left the other room in the first place. And if you're Gen X, you've probably had that exact same experience. But here's the strange part. Later that day, a song came on that I hadn't heard in decades. Within seconds, I was singing every word. Not just the chorus. Every verse. Every beat. Every little detail. And that got me thinking. How can someone forget what they were doing 5 minutes ago? But remember lyrics from 30 or 40 years ago? Most people assume it's because we're getting older. But the truth is much more interesting than that. This isn't really a memory problem. It's a clue about how the brain decides what's important. Because your brain doesn't treat every memory the same way. Some memories are temporary. Others get locked away for life. And for many people in Gen X, music ended up becoming one of those memories that the brain refused to let go of. To understand why, you have to remember what music meant to our generation. Back then, music wasn't just something playing in the background while we checked notifications or scrolled through social media. There was no social media. Music was an experience. We waited for songs on the radio. We bought cassettes. We memorized albums from beginning to end. But more importantly, music became emotional. It helped us through difficult days. It gave us comfort when nobody asked how we were feeling. It was there during first loves, first heartbreaks, family problems, and all those confusing years when we were trying to figure out who we were. Psychologists have found that memories connected to strong emotions are stored much more deeply than ordinary memories. That's because the brain sees emotional experiences as important. It treats them as information worth keeping. So while the reason you walked into the kitchen might only matter for a few seconds, the song that got you through a difficult year carries emotional weight. And when emotion is attached to a memory, the brain holds on to it much longer than most people realize. That's why so many Gen X adults can instantly remember songs from decades ago, while struggling to remember everyday details. The brain is constantly deciding what deserves space and what doesn't. Everyday tasks come and go. Appointments, shopping lists, and reasons for walking into rooms are often stored in short-term memory. If something interrupts that process, the memory can disappear. Scientists even call this the doorway effect, where walking into a new room can cause the brain to lose track of what it was thinking about. But music is different. Music is tied to emotion, identity, and personal history. A single song can bring back an entire chapter of life in seconds. It can remind you of people, places, feelings, and moments you thought were long forgotten. So maybe the real reason Gen X remembers every lyric isn't because they have better memories. Maybe it's because those songs became part of who they were. Long after everyday details faded away, the music remained. Not because it was entertainment, but because it became part of the story of their lives. What's one song you can still sing word for word after all these years? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring the psychology behind memory, nostalgia, and the Gen X experience, subscribe for more stories like this.